Show off, cat. Shoo, shoo. Hello, and welcome to Bourbon Monday. This week I am reviewing Rowan's Creek, which comes from Willet Distillery. Willet, which you may or may not know from their very uniquely shaped bottle, modeled after their own pot stills in their distillery, which come from Scotland, makes several bourbons, many of which are sourced, Rowan's Creek being one of them. Now, a few attentive viewers may remember that last week's bourbon, Bird Dog, was also a sourced whiskey. But the difference is that came from a whiskey rectifier. This comes from a whiskey distiller, because they make their own whiskeys as well. This comes from a collection of roughly 12-year-old barrels of a variety of different mash bills, including high rye, wheated, and of course traditional recipe, in amounts that we are not privy to. Rowan's Creek tends to hang around the $30 to $35 range and is on the lower price point of most of Willet's bourbons, but is actually their most popular bourbon. Running at 100.1 proof, this is actually their best seller, and I can understand why. Rowan's Creek gets its name from the creek that runs through Willet Distillery, which in turn is named after Mr. John Rowan, who was a judge and statesman in Kentucky back in the 1700s and 1800s, and was altogether widely regarded as being very Kentucky. Therefore, we can assume that this bourbon is very Kentucky. Also, it's made in Kentucky.
Rowan's Creek is very dark, a rich amber in color, with a lot of heavy caramel notes on the nose, as well as some slight oaky char, and maybe some red fruits or raisins, a little spicy too. The palate had a heavy oak char flavor to it, with some sweet red fruits and a lighter caramel than expected, though still present. The finish was a solid burn that was lingering but not too oily, and a tiny bit bitter as well.
This whiskey is actually highly awarded, and frankly, I can understand why. I would highly recommend that you get a bottle, if you can find it for a good price. Thanks for watching Bourbon Monday. Hope you join us next week when we will be reviewing Henry McKenna.